So we're going to have our team colors for our actual in-game colors here. So that light blue team is going to be Polar, and our kind of darker blue team is going to be Eclipse. Have our little scoreboard at the bottom. And it's going to be first to 2 maps today. So the maximum amount of maps we'll play is 3. And the minimum is 2. And the way it's going to work is the team that loses this first map will choose the second map. And then the team that loses the second one, if applicable, will choose the third map. Alright. I do not have experience spectating 5v5 matches, so you guys are going to kind of have to bear with me while I get used to this. But I'm going to do my best to try and capture the action in a way that is fun to watch. But please bear with me if it's a little messy. This is my first time doing this, but really exciting to start this off. Let's see what kind of comps we're looking at here. We have a Doomfist on the side of Polar, and we're going to have a Sigma on the side of Eclipse. And here we go, starting this off.
Let's get a groove on. Proclaiming a barrier. Catch these healing waves.
Suto Mayo getting low, retreating back to point. The 2 tanks are facing off in the middle. We'll watch some Doom perspective. I hope you wagered on this match. It was up for about 10 minutes before the match. If you missed it, don't worry. We're going to be able to wager on the second one. Everybody's still up yet. No kills on the board. NRG is very low on that Tracer. But they're able to find a health back. The first one down is Mr. Bustdown, taken down by Zudomayo. Zudomayo on the Genji. Corona is getting very low, and Leo's going to be able to chase them down. They also take down Baptiste. So we have quite a few Eclipse members down here, and it looks like Polar might be able to take this first point. Our Tracers, Energy, and Promise fighting on the outskirts. So Polar able to fight off the approaching Eclipse for now. We'll see how Eclipse regroups here and gets ready to recontest this point. This is really hard to get used to, by the way. I'm doing my best. Corona antied. Meanwhile, Leo and Promise are diving the backline. Stick gets absorbed by Corona there. Now Promise hunting down NRG. Lots of players low for Polar. Zudomayo will go down. So now Eclipse might have the advantage here. Potato Cat going to pop that rally to keep everybody sustained up. And it looks like Leo is nanoed as well, so Polar putting a lot into this team fight, able to take down Megumi as well. Looks like Polar might have swung this back in their favor, but Brig does go down. Leo backing up a bit. No supports right now for Team Polar, but they are still playing pretty well. They might still hold this regardless. Polar going back to get some heals.
100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squat raises.
And they are able to still hold here, so Eclipse have not started capturing this point. When talking with one of the Polar owners earlier, they said that the chemistry between this team is great, and it is looking pretty good right now, as Jellyman is able to get that kill on Mr. Bustdown. As Polar once again are up. A couple kills come through, but Polar still on top kill-wise. Just Corona and Mr. Bustdown alive, and that is almost a team kill. Just a couple staggers there. But they've only got 30 more seconds to hold this point. And if they're able to continue to hold it, Polar is going to have a full hold on Blizzard World, and they're just going to need to get one tick Seems like Eclipse is probably going to have one more push here. We do have Dragon Blade online. The only alts in the game right now are Blade for Polar and Beat for Eclipse. I'm watching this Genji. I'm curious for this Blade and when it's going to be popped. Still holding on to it now. They're going to have to touch point. They are contesting. Energy with the opening pick on Jellyman gets the stick. Zudomeo is going to answer with a pick on the Energy, so it's 4v4. Zudomeo blading. They take down Mr. Bustdown. Everybody is getting low. But Polar might be able to hold this out here and avoid getting a tick. Zudomeo jumping on Megumi. The Baptiste unable to find this kill. In the meantime, they're able to take down the tank. It looks like Polar might be able to full hold this as Leo does some victory push-ups even though the enemy Tracer is still alive. And they will full hold point number 1.
Score 0-0.
Eclipse unable to find an opening into this first point. Meaning the victory condition is there and open for Polar. All they're going to have to do is get one tick in this attack phase. If they don't, we will actually have a tie, which means we'll have another random map pick, which would be pretty funny to start it off. But Polar looking very strong out of the gate. We'll see what compositions our two teams go with. Both teams are going to go with a support line of Lucio and Bap. Scratch that. Baseball switching to Mercy. Leo's going to swap from the Doom to the Sigma, and Corona is going to be playing Diva. So we're switching up the tanks a lot here, it looks like. And so Polar is about to kick off their attack. They had a full hold on defense. All they're going to need is just one tick, and they take map 1. Corona on that high ground. Megumi will get an opening pick on Jellyman. Some support on support violence. A nice shot with the Kiriko. And it's enough to send Polar regrouping for now. I'm excited to see the Mercy, because I was hearing in today's day and age, Mercy was kind of unusable, like the worst support by far, but we are seeing Baseball pull it out right now. It looks like they're just going to be pocketing energy for right now. Looks like Polar is taking a flank route around the side of the map. No kills quite yet for either team. Eclipse doing a good job of holding down this point, not getting Polar an opportunity to come in. The Immortality Field is going to have to come out to keep the supports alive. Still no kills. Mr. Bustdown getting very low on the Torb, but will get healed up just in time. Corona now facing Promise. That May can be tough for a Diva to deal with as they're going to get D-Mech there. And Corona is down, so the tank is dead for Eclipse. They technically could res this, but I don't know if that's going to be on the table. We'll see if the Mercy does go for it. Seems like they're just trying to keep the team alive at the moment. NRG does get a pick on the Jellyman, making it a 4v5, but Leo is going to get Megumi. And now Polar is just getting kill after kill here. It looks like they might be able to get this tick. It is so close to being captured as Baseball does go down, and that is the first tick and the only tick they needed. So we're going to have a really quick map there with Polar coming out on top, getting the first win. And that means it is going to be Eclipse's pick for map. So Eclipse, please let me know in your private channel which map you would like. It cannot be a hybrid map. Thank you guys, I appreciate it. Does match 2 start right after match 1, or is there a break in between? There will be a 10-minute break in between. I'm going to go to a screen that says be right back, and then I'm going to give Olympians and Saviors time to get in the lobby. So I just realized it's the Circuit Royale Night version. I hope that's not a big deal. I know right now in the current map pool it is the day version, but I didn't configure it. Saviors is the best team in the league, you heard, Grizzly? I guess we're going to have to settle it in the match, to be honest. Saviors going up against Olympians right after this. Make sure you don't miss it. It'll also give you a chance to wager if you haven't wagered yet. Looking at the wager, it looks like 62% of players picked Eclipse to win this. So we already might be looking at a bit of an upset. I know it's not a classic upset since these teams haven't really played yet, so it's difficult to know.
Perhaps I will take your word for it.
But now we're seeing our first look at both of these teams, and Polar is looking great so far, but we'll see if Eclipse can come back and rally through this. We're going to have a Sigma on both sides. A BAP as well. And we're going to have a Widowmaker for energy. We'll be wanting to watch that. So Polar is on defense first here, and a lot of their players are packed into that little room in the side. Promise gets the opening pick on Mr. Bust Down, but Corona is going to trade it with a kill on Promise. 4v4 at the moment. The Sigmas exchange rocks. Meanwhile, Energy looking for that pick. They almost nail it on Pseudo Mayo on the sim. Just narrowly missing that one. Mr. Bust Down takes down Pseudo Mayo. That might be an opening for Eclipse. Energy with the kill onto Jellyman. Let's see if they can finish off these stragglers. Leo trying to escape with their life here. Just about 90 HP. If you look right now on the North America PC leaderboards, you'll see Leo as the 74th tank right now in all of NA. So just one example of like the absolute talent we have on both these teams. There's a lot of highly ranked players. Leo teleports to the back line, taking down Energy. And here comes the Alari ult, but it gets quickly dealt with. Nobody captivated by the sun there. Backing up for Eclipse. They are able to get around this corner here, but getting point number 1 is always a tough ask. Both Baptistes are going to pull out the window. Everyone's getting low for Polar. Jellyman scrambling to keep them all alive. Does for now. Potato Cat does go down, but I think Polar is up in this team fight. Mr. Bust Down gets the kill on Pseudo Mayo, but it seems like they killed themselves in the process. And it looks like that will be a reset for Eclipse at the moment. Polar still holding strong. They held the first map without giving up a single tick. And right now they haven't given up first yet. Energy with a nice combo on Promise will get the opening pick for Eclipse. They're going to want to go now. Leo teleporting behind with the Sigma ult. Almost gets a kill there, but the Immortality Field saves it. Mr. Bust Down takes down Jellyman with the Visor in the meantime. And now it looks like Eclipse is starting this team fight. They've got all 5 players alive, and they will probably be able to capture first point here if they can get the last straggling members. or Polar off this point. It's going to be visual clutter everywhere. Alts are raining from above, but in the meantime, Eclipse will be able to capture point 1. Just narrowly. And that'll give them a few more minutes on the clock that they desperately need. But now we've got the hill. I don't know what the official name for this hill is, but me and my friends call it Hell Hill because it's always really hard to get it up here. But they might be able to sneak this payload up before Polar even recontests. Mayo switching to the Hanzo. So we're going to have not only a Widowmaker on both sides, but we're going to have double snipers for Team Polar. Energy able to take out Promise on the Widow. Now hunting for another kill. Most of Polar backing up to the edge of the map. Meanwhile, Leo is taking a lot of cooldowns and gets headshot by Energy. And so Eclipse might be finding some momentum here as they're able to take second point rather easily. Keep in mind this was Eclipse map pick, so when they picked Circuit Royale, they must have had something in mind. And it started off a little rough, but it looks like things are going their way now. Energy giving Jellyman a haircut in the mid-fight here.
Much better.
Two Widowmakers facing off, but Energy turns the corner and is going to have a beautiful shot on Promise.
I've been waiting for a challenge.
I'm not sure Mr. Bustdown's lagging out. They were like holding that wall. Not sure what happened there, but Potato Cat will take out Corona, and we'll see if that makes Eclipse have to back up here a little bit without one of their supports. And it did look like they were lagging out. Looks like we're ready to go. I'm going to give them a countdown one more time just so they're ready, and we're going to unpause. Oh, I guess it has a countdown built in, doesn't it? Okay. Just Too Sus subbing in for Mr. Bustdown, who seemed to have some connection issues, but we're going to head right back into it. Just a reminder, Eclipse has taken the first 2 points of Circuit Royale. But they had a player DC halfway through the 3rd point. Energy getting another kill on Promise here. Seems like they have a slight edge in this Widow 1v1. Gets the kill onto Potato Cat as well. So now Eclipse getting some eliminations here. Just Too Sus takes down Leo. The new sub already getting in on the action. But Promise gets the better of NRG right there. Eclipse making a push towards this last point. Jellyman going to use that window, and Mayo is going to get 2 kills through it. So that should stop Eclipse for right now. Energy will take down Promise, but they're not going to be able to take on this whole team by themselves, so they're probably going to regroup in a second. Well, that's if Energy is even able to get out. They are getting pressured a little bit. Looks like they'll be alright for right now. So Eclipse is back and ready to contest again. Only about 30 seconds, so this might be the last fight depending on how quickly this goes. Corona facing the Sunrise. Promise is solo in the back. Looks like they'll be alright for now. Megumi also has the ult ready to go. I just now realized that Megumi and Corona had switched roles. Energy able to get the kill on Mayo, but Eclipse has no time to work with here. They're going to have an insane push right here at the end. Potato Cat gets a kill onto Just Too Sus. And it's going to snowball. Zudomeo kills Megumi. That should be a hold for Polar. As long as they're able to take out these stragglers, and they will hold third. But a really good push from Eclipse all around. Is switching roles allowed? Yes, you can switch roles between maps, but not during a round. So Corona was the tank on our first map, but it looks like they switched during the second map. Hold on one second. There was a option I forgot to set. And spectate. There we go. That should help. What's up, Acid? How you doing? Good news for you is you still caught the first match, and there's still some raffles to come. Just a reminder, we'll be doing a 1,000 coin raffle after every map. So the more maps we play, the more raffles there are. So if you're here for the raffles, you should be rooting for Eclipse to try and tie up this series right now.
Remember when you had a bowl cut?
Yes. You didn't want to be the only one.
I never had one.
We build
I
a
believe
new
I have
world.
pictures.
Got to call off work because you might have COVID? That sounds bittersweet, Leonix. I hope you're doing well, but congrats on getting a day off work. Welcome. Welcome. Promise showing off their piano skills in the pre-game lobby, but here we go. Polar has their work cut out for them. They're going to need to basically take all 3 points here. Eclipse got the first 2 in almost the third. Eclipse did look better on defense for that first point. But Promise will take down Just Too Sus to start it off. So that's an opening kill for Team Polar. We'll see if they're able to capitalize on it. Megumi taking a lot of heat on top of the bridge. Being forced back, and Polar might be able to take this first angle. Polar just throwing so much damage at Megumi, there's not much they can do. Corona doing their best to keep them up. Polar just getting 3 kills in that team fight there, and that should be point number 1 already done, as Corona is getting harassed by Zudomeo, who's going to get a double kill right there. Strong start already to this attack for Polar. They're going to chase Megumi too, who got an unfortunate spawn, it looked like. Blade also about to come online for Zudomeo. They might be able to use that to close out second point as well, and then all they would have to do is just get that little bit left on third. Potato Cat holding down the payload. But Eclipse is back, and they're going to invest some ultimates. And that will be enough to push Polar back for the time being. They're going to retreat to this lower part of the hill. That blade is online for Zudomeo. They're going to get the opening kill onto Just Too Sus. And Potato Cat's going to also take down the tank. Potato Cat with a nice double kill also takes down Baseball, and that's going to be a team wipe in a second once they take down Energy. And so that should be second point for Polar. Once they capture this, all they're going to have to do to win this match is just get to that last little gold checkpoint. Eclipse did lose the first map, Blizzard World. So they can't afford to lose another map if they're trying to win this game. It's best of 3, Acid, so it is first to 2 maps. Potato Cat cooking on Zen every time I look at the kill feed. dropping quite a few kills there. And Polar is just rolling with the kills right now. They're only going to need this little bit left here, which only might be one team fight away. Yep, Leonix, you're allowed to spectate your team. Totally fine. 3 meters away from victory in their opening match, and they're going to be able to get it. The floating tank was not able to contest the payload, and that will be GG's in chat. Polar starting off with a very, very dominant performance. And our play of the game from Leo there, who was solid on tank all game. That'll be all for that matchup.